Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Colorado Rockies rebuild franchise here on MLB The Show 24. Today, we're going to start with a very good pitching matchup here. Max Fried on the bump against Sandy Alcantara. And with that, we'll actually go ahead and look at the All-Star voting leaders. As you see here, Alcantara leads all NL pitchers, so he's slated to start the MLB All-Star game about a month away. Second place is Aaron Civale here for our Rockies, a 9-2 start with a 2.27 ERA, a 1.20 whip, and then down in the fourth spot here under Tyler Glass now is Max Fried. So our top two starting pitchers right now slated to be in the NL All-Star game. Spencer Strider, Bryce Elder here for the Braves. We see Zach Wheeler, Imanaga, Paul Skeens down here as well, but it'd be nice if we were able to get multiple All-Stars each of the first two seasons of this franchise, only one All-Star representative. Going over to relief pitchers, Luis Patino, and then TJ Antone here. I don't know if he'll make it in here as the second relief pitcher. I think only one relief pitcher, and then the rest closers are typically voted into the All-Star game. But a tremendous opening year here for Antone with the Rockies. 1.49 ERA, 45 strikeouts, and 42 1/3. He's been a workhorse out of the bullpen for us. But look at our closing leader here. Ken Hughes of our Rockies, tremendous start to his career, especially this season. 25 out of 26, a 1.71 ERA with a sub-1 whip, 28 strikeouts, and 26 1/3. Not only does he lead all closers, but he leads all pitchers in the NL in votes with 424,000. Catcher Francisco Alvarez slated to be the All-Star starter. Pete Alonso here at first base, and he's actually leading the MVP race right now. Batting .325 with a .579 slugging, already 20 home runs. Certainly on pace here to set a new career high. Second base, Ozzie Albies. Another Brave here at third base, Austin Riley. Trey Turner leads in infield votes with 647. Actually leads all position players, Trey Turner. Tremendous year here for the Phillies, batting .313, 29 stolen bases, 12 home runs. At left field, Teoscar Hernandez, although he is on the IL right now, a torn finger ligament, so he's going to miss the All-Star game. So Kyle Schwarber, Brian Reynolds, the World Series MVP from last year. In center field, James Outman for the Dodgers, then former Dodger here, Cody Bellinger, his first year with Diamondbacks. Another Diamondback here. Corbin Carroll leads all outfielders, and then Juan Soto here as well. He was re-signed to San Diego after that 1 year in New York. I guess we'll check out the AL as well. Shane McClanahan, I believe he started last year's All-Star game. And he won the Cy Young back in, last year he won the Cy Young Award. Dylan Tate leads relievers. Johan Duran there for Minnesota. Emmanuel Clase, now a Ranger. Clay Holmes there, the top closers. Adley Rutschman leads all catchers. Batted .361 last year, .399 the year before. Absolute nasty production there. Tristan Casas, first base leader. Jose Altuve at second. Jose Ramirez, Corey Seager, 30 home runs already, leads the league. Matt Vierling here for the Yankees, a surprise name. His first year there in New York. Leads all left fielders, and Aaron Judge in center, and Josh Lowe in right. So with that, we'll get a quick manage game here to start the episode. We're going to get through maybe 20 games or so. I think we'll simulate the rest of June here, and then kind of simulate this first week of July to set up the MLB Draft episode next time out. So we'll start here. Quick manage game with Max Fried against Sandy Alcantara. A very juicy pitching matchup here. Brendan Rodgers on to lead it off. And if you watched last episode, we had a leadoff home run with Brendan Rodgers against the Atlanta Braves. We won that game 8-6. And a 2-out home run there from Pete Alonso. Homered in the last game there in the last episode with against the Braves. And now a 2-out home run here. Then Nolan Jones a single. And Alcantara gets out of it. So a 1-run first inning, and now we'll see how Max Fried responds. A leadoff double there for Esteury Ruiz, and then he steals third, and just like that, Luis Arias drives him home, and we're all knotted up here. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a base hit there. So runners on the corners, no outs here for Brent Rooker. He strikes out now. Nick Fortes, he strikes out now. Jake Berger, and he strikes out. So 3 consecutive strikeouts there for Max Fried. And now a leadoff double here for Ryan McMahon, a single for Jansen. McMahon stays at second. And then an RBI single there from Yanquiel Fernandez. Now Ezekiel Tovar up, and he grounds into a double play. Jansen held at third, and Brendan Rodgers grounds out. So we do take the lead back. A 1-out single there for Jesus Sanchez, and he's picked off. and then a ground out there from Amaya. Now top of the third, and Luis Robert Jr. leads us off with a home run. The Cuban native here going yard in Miami. A 2-out single from Santander, then McMahon a single, and Alcantara does get out of the inning. Now Ruiz to lead it off, he walks. A fly out, Guerrero Jr. strikes out. A 2-out single there from Rooker. Now bases, runners on the corners, and we get out of it with a pop-up. A leadoff single from Yaquil Fernandez. He's now 2 for 2. And then Brendan Rodgers grounds into the double play. Now bottom 4. And a 1-2-3 inning there from Fried. A 2-out home run there from Nolan Jones. Is that the second or third home run surrendered by Alcantara? 10 hits allowed, although he does get out of there with a strikeout. A 1-out double there from Ruiz. He's been on base every plate appearance so far. And now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. drives him in. A 4-2 game, but a strikeout there on Brent Rooker. Now Jalen Beeks into the action. A former Rocky. We traded him back in year 1. He was a newly signed free agent, but just never put it together. And we sent him to the Texas Rangers along with Daniel Bard. A leadoff walk there to McMahon. Now Danny Jansen flies out. A walk to Fernandez. So 2 walks here. Tovar flies out. Now Brendan Rodgers. And it looked like a runner was thrown out going for home. Now bottom of the 6th, Max Fried still on the bump. A leadoff single to Fortes. A strikeout. Another single. And now Jesus Sanchez an RBI single. Jacob Amaya up. I think now we go to the bullpen here. I think we'll go TJ Antone, even though he's not the most rested. Gets a strikeout and a ground out. Tremendous effort there. Gets 2 outs there in a jam. Still up 4-3. Now Middleton on to pitch for Miami. And he gets a 1-2-3 inning. Now Luis Arias to lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th. He strikes out. A single there from Guerrero Jr. Now Brent Rooker strikes out Nick Fortes on. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stolen base. And Antone again gets out of the inning. Kind of had him in there longer than I expected. But he was up to the challenge. A 1-out walk there for McMahon. And then nothing doing after that. So Jake Berger to lead it off here. And we got to go to John Curtis. 23 2/3 innings pitched and no earned runs. And there he gets first 2 to strike out now. Jacob Amaya on with a runner on first. They'll actually pinch hit for Jazz Chisholm. And he grounds out now top of the 9th. Trevor Richards on to pitch. A leadoff walk there for Tovar. We'll go hit and run here. And it works out. Base runners on the corners here. And a 3-run home run from Luis Robert Jr. His second of the day. Gives us some much-needed insurance. Now Paul Sewald on. And he gets 3 down in a row. We'll just leave John Curtis in here. 2 outs. Allows a single there to Guerrero Jr. And then we get the fielder's choice. So we win 7-3. Luis Robert Jr. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. A 3-run blast there in the top of the 9th gave us some much-needed insurance. Max Fried now 9-2 as we hand Alcantara his 4th loss of the year. John Curtis, a 2-inning save. And we'll move along in the action now. Aaron Savali on against Jesus Luzardo, who's 2-11 on the year. And we take that one 7-3. So I think now we advance to 11-3 or 11-4 in the month of June. And we are now 2.5 up on the Dodgers for the division lead. We'll take a look at this box score. 2 hits there from 2 to 5 hitters. Thompson, Jones, Alonso, Santander, all with 2 hits. A triple for Senzel. Alonso and Santander each had home runs. Aaron Savali, 6 innings, 2 earned. Scott Barlow, 2 scoreless innings. And he got his 14th hold. Now we go for the sweep here. Kyle Freeland on against Braxton Garrett. Up 4-2 here, bottom of the 9th. We'll see if Ken Hughes can record one more out. The tying run on base. And we do get out of that. Ken Hughes now, I think 26 saves on the year. 26 out of 27 now. Did allow 2 hits, but got out of that. Kyle Freeland, 5 2/3, 2 earned. And then after that, we had a scoreless effort from the bullpen. Scott Barlow, Antone, and John Curtis each with a hold. Senzel, Robert Jr., and Jansen with home runs in this game. Now we'll start a 4-game road set with the Cubs. Jack Flaherty on against Shota Imanaga, one of the top pitchers this year in the NL. Up 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Senzel trying to keep a 13-game hitting streak alive. And we blew that game. We lost 9-8. Wow, the Cubs scored 9 straight runs from the 8th to the 10th inning. 3 in the last 3 innings. And they stole this one 9-8. We had 3 hits from Brendan Rodgers, a home run from Alonso and Adele, his first of the year. Flaherty, a good start, 3 earned in 7 1/3. but Ken Hughes gave up 3 earned. Awful outing from him. He does get a hold, but Justin Lawrence takes the loss. He and Lucas Gilbreth each gave up a run there in the late goings. Wow, what a collapse that was here against the Cubs, who I believe lead the NL Central as they do. So 2 of the top teams here in the NL here in a 4-game set. Now Peter Lambert on against Eduardo Rodriguez. Lambert desperate for a good start. Looks like he did get it in this one as we bounce back to win 9-3. Senzel 2 hits, a home run and a double. Alonso 3 hits. He adds another home run. 2 hits for Santander with a home run. Jose Trevino 3 for 4 there at the bottom. And John Curtis 2 1/3. His 3rd save still has yet to allow an earned run. A good bounce back start there from Peter Lambert. Really needed that. Now Max Fried back on against Jordan Wicks. And we take this one as well, 5-3. Good to see us now lead this series. 2 hits there for Rogers. He's now at .298 batting average on the year. Robert Jr. 2 hits. Alonso adds another home run. Batting now .333 on the year. He went 3 for 4 in this game. Max Fried 3 earned in 5 2/3. And then after that, our bullpen scoreless efforts between Antone Lawrence and Ken Hughes, who adds another save. We're now set to move through another week here. We go 6-1, and we win the last 2 there against the Cubs. Now Game 4, we'll have Aaron Civale now 10-2 against Domingo Germán. Luis Robert Jr. 2 home runs in this game, 3 for 3, as we lead 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. We do hang on to win there by that same score. 3 for 4 there was Robert Jr. Danny Jansen also went yard. Aaron Civale now 11-2 on the year. Ken Hughes 28 out of 29 on save attempts. Scott Barlow had a hold along there with John Curtis. Now a 3-game set here against the Mets. We'll look at the standings real quick. Rockies 52-30. Currently the 2nd best winning percentage in the NL behind the Phillies as they lead the NL East. The Cubs ahead in the NL Central. And now the Dodgers 3 games behind us there in the NL West. In the AL East, the Rays lead right now. The Yankees kind of staying there above 500. The Red Sox, though, falling off a little bit. In the Central, the Twins lead by a good bit. Although the Royals, I think they're going to finish strong. A very good rotation there in Kansas City as they've really come around here. Now the Astros lead in the AL West, actually tied with the Rangers. The Mariners 3 games behind. And then the Angels 4 games behind. So we'll get through this next week. Freeland on against Tyler McGill. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, 4-4 here. Pete Alonso on against his former team. And we'll just go ahead and simulate, see if he gets the job done. And we do win 5-4 there as we win in the bottom of the 10th. McMahon, Yanquiel Fernandez had home runs. Fernandez had 3 hits. Alonso 2 hits. And he's actually leading the MVP race right now, if I didn't mention already. Kyle Freeland 4 earned in 5. And then the bullpen after that, 5 scoreless innings. Scott Barlow gets the win. Now we'll have Jack Flaherty on against Frankie Montas. Luke Weaver on the bump here in the bottom of the 7th. We lead 3-2. Jansen trying to keep a 10-game hitting streak alive. We end up winning 5-3. And Jansen did extend the hitting streak now to 11 games. Luis Robert Jr. 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Another multi-home run game for Robert Jr. And Pete Alonso had a home run as well, currently leading the National League. John Curtis gave up an earned run here. Pitched 2 1/3, got the blown save. His ERA now at .28. Flaherty 6 innings, 2 earned. Lucas Gilbreth gets his first win of the year, recording the last final outs as we win there in the bottom of the 11th. Now we go for the sweep here. Currently on a 5-game winning streak. Peter Lambert on the bump. And we fall there 6-3. 2 hits for Joe Adell, a home run from Nick Senzel. Lambert 4 earned in 4 innings. 4 scoreless innings from Taj Bradley. TJ Antone gave up 2 earned. Now a 3-game road set here against Toronto. We'll have Max Fried on against Alek Manoah. Top of the 9th here. 3-1 ball game. Jansen now trying to extend it to 12 games here against his former team. We do hang on to win there 3-1. 2 hits for Rogers and Jones. And the Danny Jansen hitting streak is snapped. Robert Jr. hit another home run. He now leads center fielders in all-star voting. Max Fried advances to 10-2. 1 earned run in 7 innings. Very good outing. John Curtis gets a hold. And Ken Hughes another save. A 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts. Now game 2 here against Kevin Gausman. Bottom of the 8th. A 4-3 ball game here. And I think we'll enter here, see if we can hang on here down the stretch. I believe, the tying run on base for Toronto. Justin Lawrence on the bump, trying to get the hold here late as the Rockies lead by 1 run. So here we go. Bottom of the 8th, no outs. Dalton Varsho up to the plate. Lawrence swinging a miss there. A low sinker. I think we'll try and just go right back to it. That one gets in there for a strike. Looked at there by Varsho. And we'll try some movement here. Great pitch there from Justin Lawrence. Slurve gets in there for strike 3. Varsho not happy, but looked at 2 very good pitches there. Now Carlos Correa up. Now part of the Blue Jays, batting .258, 15 home runs, OPS over 800. 1 out now here in the 8th inning. Swing and a miss there at the sinker. 96 miles per hour. Now the 0-1. That one too low. Correa not chasing that. We'll try and get him again on the sinker. Looks at that one for strike 2. Now a 1-2 count. We'll just go with the fastball low. And Correa going to send that deep to right field. Nolan Jones giving chase back to the track. And he'll make the catch now. 2 outs there. As that now brings up Alejandro Kirk. 0 for 3 in the game. 0 for 7 in the series. See if Lawrence can get the last out here in the inning. Looks at that first pitch sinker. And the delivery here from Lawrence, the release point of the ball, certainly can play into the minds of these batters a little bit. Hung that sinker right over the plate, but Kirk very late on that. Now the 0-2, that one in the dirt. And the runner will stay there at first. Bo Bichette on first. Alejandro Kirk in the batter's box. Now the 1-2, that one in the dirt again. Again, Jansen getting in front of it to block it. Now 2-2 count here. We'll just try to put him away with the high fastball. And that one well up there, looking all the way. We'll try it again. Here's the payoff pitch. That one fouled off. Now here I think we'll go Slurve. That one grounded to second. Runner was in motion. Rogers to first. As Justin Lawrence gets 3 outs in a row there after the leadoff single. 4-3 heading into the 9th from Rogers Center. Now here's Nolan Jones, 2 for 3 in this game with 2 doubles, batting .305 on the year. OPS at .957 last episode. Had 2 home runs in the same game with him against the Braves. Nate Pearson on the mound here for the Blue Jays. First pitch inside. Now 1-1 count to Jones. And he's going to send that the opposite way, but that's foul. As that just broke past the left field line. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss way out in front on the breaking ball. And we deserve to go back to the bench after that one. A very awful swing there as Nate Pearson strikes out the first batter of the inning. And that brings up Anthony Santander. Very hot and cold here to start the year. As we'll look at that slider there hung at the top of the zone in for a strike. Now the 0-1 from Nate Pearson. Good pitch there. That slider just broke onto that outside part of the plate. Now a quick 0-2 hole here for Santander. That one, looking at that one again, we go down. Don't even get the bat off our shoulder. Nate Pearson really hitting his spots in that at bat. Santander goes down on 3 pitches, which brings up Ryan McMahon 0 for 3 in this game with a pop out. 0 for 5 in the series. It's been a down year for McMahon. Swing and a miss on the first pitch curveball. And besides that Nolan Jones foul ball, really no contact at all in this inning. That one going to push McMahon off the plate a little bit. A high 98 mile per hour fastball. Now the 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. Climbing the ladder for that one. We're just way off in this game. And it's now 1-2. That one, good eye from McMahon. The fastball off the plate. Again, knotted up, now 2-2. Swing and a miss. I don't know what we're doing. Bad effort there on offense, but hopefully we can get the save here. Rockies go down 1-2-3. 3 outs left for the Blue Jays to rewrite this 1-run deficit. And that will bring in Ken Hughes, 29 out of 30, currently leading all pitchers in the National League in All-Star votes. 2.32 ERA through 31 innings, a combined batting average of around .215, a 28.6 strikeout rate, and he's emerging as one of the best closers in all of baseball. We'll have the bottom of the Toronto order here. Spencer Horwitz leads it off. First pitch there by Ken Hughes just inside, and currently leading the league with 29 saves, 4 more than Jose Alvarado and Joel Piamps, who are second. Now the 1-0. Go back to the inside fastball. That one sent out to center field. Luis Robert Jr. settles underneath, and he makes the play. 1 away here in the 9th. Now George Springer up 0 for 3 with a strikeout, batting .264 on the year. His play regressing a little bit as he ages. First pitch in there for a strike. Now the 0-1 from Ken Hughes. That one a hard hit there to Senzel at short. Throws the first. 2 up, 2 down now here in the 9th inning. Ken Hughes 1 out away from his 30th save of the season. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. Or Elvis Martinez on to try to play hero here, keep the game going. Swing and a miss there on the 1-0 fastball. Now a 1-1 count. I think we'll go change up this time, switch it up. That one well off the plate. Now 2-1, we'll go back to the fastball. That one fouled off. Now 1 strike away. We'll go to the breaking ball here, give him a slider. Swing and a miss, and the Rockies win. Ken Hughes gets another save. We entered this game, and we were able to hang strong there with Justin Lawrence. Didn't, contribute at all offensively. Just 2 strikeouts there in our top half of the inning. But Ken Hughes comes on for another 1-2-3 inning save. Now 30 on the year. TJ Antone advances to 6-3, and our Rockies are playing tremendous baseball here in the month of June. We will keep it moving here as we look to complete the sweep here against the Blue Jays. A 3-1 win and a 4-3 win. And now we have Kyle Freeland on the bump against Jose Berrios. And we do finish the job there, winning 7-3. 2 for 5 there with Sterling Thompson. Alonso and Danny Jansen had home runs. 6 1/3 for Freeland with 3 earned. Ken Hughes got another save, getting the last 2 outs there for his 31st save. Scott Barlow, 5 outs of scoreless pitching. And now here, the last game of June. And it looks like we've only lost 5 games in June. I want to say a record of like 22-5 or something like that. A tremendous month. And we're now 57-31, 3.5 now up on the Dodgers. And we have just almost the same winning percentage there as the Phillies for the top team. So now we start a 3-game set here at Oakland. And it looks like they might have the worst record at 25-59. And the White Sox just a game better than the Athletics, but the Athletics at 25-59, a winning percentage under 300. So a series we should definitely take here, as they'll have Shane Bieber up against Jack Flaherty. It's like a injury there to Heriberto Hernandez in AAA. And we fall 9-1, not what we were expecting, but I guess we did need to get humbled a little bit. Nolan Jones, our only source of run production, 1 home run there in the top of the 9th. Jack Flaherty got roasted here, 6 earned. Taj Bradley, 3 earned. So not a good game there against the A's. And now we'll just get through the last 4 or 5 games here for this episode, a quicker episode, and then we'll kind of take a look at the draft class and our plans for the draft to set up next episode. So Reagan Todd, 9.82 ERA, a left-hander there in Double-A. Started off very well, but not good over his last 3 2/3. Jordan Quinones, our closer there in AAA, started off, I think, 21 out of 23 on save attempts, but then gave up a 7.5 ERA there in 6 innings. And now Griffin Conine there in Double-A, hit over 300. Leonardo Rivas, a good utility guy there we have in AAA, batted .341, and definitely not known for his bat, so that's good to see. And then Alfonso Campaneris there in Double-A, a lefty we drafted back in year 1, struck out 51 batters in 39 2/3 with a 1.36 ERA, so a very good month there from Campaneris, and he might be moving up to AAA here soon. So now we'll have Peter Lambert on against Jacob Miller, who's 1-11 with a 6.99 ERA. So really no excuse in this game to start July. We're up 9-7 with John Curtis on the mound. Seemingly to the end, and we do hang strong there to win 10-7. So we bounce back, 3 hits there for Brendan Rodgers at the top of the order. Multi-hit games from Alonso, Santander, and McMahon. Danny Jansen went 3 for 5 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Tovar, 2 hits. So good offensive production in this one. 16 hits overall, although we did give up 13 hits, in our pitching staff, and gave up 7 runs. 5 earned from Peter Lambert. And we really have to, I've been saying it for a while now, but I think it's officially time to replace him in the rotation. I think maybe next episode we'll look to address that early on. And then after that, pretty good from the bullpen, although Scott Barlow gave up 2 earned, but otherwise scoreless in the remaining efforts. Ken Hughes, another save for him now at 32. Another rubber match here will have Max Fried on against Mason Miller, who has a 7.12 ERA. A key moment here, bottom of the 8th with Justin Lawrence on the bump. And we'll just simulate to the end. And we hang strong there for the shutout. We win 2-0 there to win the rubber match, take the series here. Only 4 hits, 2 of which were solo home runs. Nolan Jones, Santander, Max Fried, 7 1/3 of scoreless pitching. Justin Lawrence gets the hold. And another save there for Ken Hughes now up to 33, leading the MLB. As now we here enter last series here of the episode, a 3-game home set here against the San Diego Padres. Will have Aaron Savali on against Cole Irvin. Savali 11-2. Michael Yamashita, our top pitching prospect in the organization, a finger contusion, will be out 1 to 2 weeks. And we take game 1 here against the Padres 11-5 as Savali gets, I think, his 12th win. He's now 12-2. He went 7 strong innings, and TJ Antone finished the job with a scoreless 2-inning outing. Senzel, Jones, Alonso each with home runs. Nolan Jones went 4 for 5, and he's now batting .308. Alonso went 3 for 4. He's batting .322. Just very good efforts there from the offense. Now we have Kyle Freeland on against Paul Blackburn here in game 2. And the Padres bounce back to take this one 5-2. Senzel went 1 for 3 with a double. 2 hits for Santander and Fernandez. Alonso has another home run. Kyle Freeland, 6 innings, went 3 earned. Barlow, Soto, Gilbreth there out of the bullpen. Barlow gave up 2 earned runs, so not the best outing from him. So to end this episode, we'll just do a quick manage game here. Maybe jump into it at the end, get a little more gameplay before we take a look at our scouting and take a look at the potential draft picks here in this year's MLB Draft. So Tatis to lead it off for the Padres, flies out. Bogarts had a single. He was thrown out trying to steal. Now Juan Soto, a 2-out single before Machado strikes out. So Matt Waldron on the bump here for the Padres. A 1-out walk there to Robert. We'll go hit and run here with Pete Alonso. He grounds out. Robert gets to second here with 2 away. Nolan Jones flies out. Now Eloy Jimenez, now part of the Padres, leading off the inning. A leadoff single. A 1-out walk to J.D. Davis. Now runners on the corners here with Ethan Salas up. 2 outs. And he flies out. So we get out of that one. Now Santander to lead it off. He strikes out. And a 1-2-3 inning there from Matt Waldron. Now top of 3. 2 outs now after a 2-out single there from Soto. And Machado grounds out. Now bottom of the 3rd. A 1-out single from Tovar. And nothing doing after that. So Eloy Jimenez now to lead off the 4th. As Jack Flaherty gets a 1-2-3 inning. Waldron then counters with a 1-2-3 inning of his own. And then a 1-2-3 inning there from Flaherty. So just mowing him down now at this point. A 1-out walk there to Jansen. And then 2 strikeouts to end the inning. Now top of the 6th. And another 1-2-3 inning there from Flaherty. Really coming on strong here as we get later into this game. A 2-out walk there to Alonso. And then we're now into the 7th. A leadoff double for Eloy Jimenez. And Jack Flaherty able to work around that. So just 1 hit so far for this Colorado offense. Really need to get it going here. A 1-out walk to McMahon. And then Danny Jansen grounds into a double play. So still just 1 hit given up by Matt Waldron on the other side. And now top of the 8th, Jack Flaherty still out there. A 2-out single. And now it's Juan Soto. I mean, it really doesn't matter who's facing him. I say we bring in a lefty. I think we'll just do pitch around. And we get the line out there. So 8 strong innings there for Jack Flaherty. Just desperate for some run support. And we do not get it there in the top of the 9th. We go down 1-2-3 again. And I think we'll just leave Flaherty out there. 2 pop-ups. A 2-out walk. Now J.D. Davis. A single. Now Hae-Sung Kim up. I think we got to go to the bullpen now. Who has a good clutch rating? I think Barlow does. He has not been good recently, though. So I think we'll go to Antone in this spot just to get this last out here in the 9th. He walks him, and now Salas up. And Antone gets the bases loaded strikeout. So now bottom of the 9th, still a scoreless ball game here. I think we'll jump into this one to end the episode and see if we can rally for the victory. Going here, tied up in this series now, game 3 of this series, as the Rockies look to take another series here. It's been a very good start to the season for us now at about game 100 or so. And here's Jake Irvin, 82 2/3 innings pitched. So he's had a lot of action there. Looks like a primary long relief type guy. Maybe has made some starts. And they had a bunch of pinch runners there in that last half of the inning. So Jake Cronenworth now at first base, as we see Luis Robert Jr. leading off the bottom of the ninth, 0 for 2 with a walk. And last I checked, he was leading all center fielders in All-Star voting. Irvin starts him off there with the ball low. And we see there Enyel De Los Santos, the closer for this Padres team, warming up. We'll skip ahead in this at-bat. A 3-0 count now to Robert Jr. And we actually had the green light there on 3-0, but missed on the slurve. And now 3-1. That time late on the fastball. And Irvin does a good job to fight back. Now here comes the payoff pitch. And Robert Jr. goes down swinging, was up 3-0. And then 3 straight swings and misses as Jake Irvin fights back in a big way. You know, you go down 3-0, 1 pitch away from putting the winning run on base with good speed at that. And then you fight back and get the strikeout. Now Pete Alonso was swinging a miss there at that first pitch fastball. Now here's the 1-1. Should have swung at that right over the heart of the plate. And again, now Jake Irvin gets 2 strikes on his opposition here as Pete Alonso very late on that fastball in on the hands. And back-to-back strikeouts here to start the bottom of the ninth here for Jake Irvin, which now brings up Nolan Jones. And Jones is going to hammer that to dead center. First pitch fastball right down the plate. And that is out of here. The Rockies win on the walk-off home run. Nolan Jones comes up big for us, gives us the victory. And what a moment that is. 468 feet. One of the deepest home runs we've hit in this series. And Nolan Jones on pace to eclipse a new career high in home runs. He has yet to hit 30. And now at 19 already, as we're just a few games away from hitting the All-Star break. What a game here in Colorado. Jack Flaherty didn't come away with the win officially, but he brought a shutout into the 9th inning, recorded all but the last out. So 26 out of 27 outs recorded there by Jack Flaherty. TJ Antone got the last out there in a bases-loaded situation. And then Jake Irvin back-to-back strikeouts to start, but Nolan Jones starts that at-bat with little ambush tactics, taking that to dead center, the deepest part of the field, for a towering shot to take it here in Colorado. The Rockies win. Only 2 hits on the docket for him today, but that's all it took. Antone advances to 7-3. Our Rockies win the series. And with that, we'll now take a look at some MLB Draft prospects. And we'll start here with Lewis Spencer. We just got him fully scouted, and he came all the way up from 104 on the MLB board, all the way up to number 4 on our board. So very well could come out of this draft as the best pitcher. He does have low injury risk, a right-hander with a 5-pitch mix, has that sweeping curve, a 2-seamer, slider, changeup, and of course a 4-seam. And I mean, the per 9 categories, nothing lights out, but overall across the board, especially with stamina, looks like a guy who can eat, 7 innings an outing with that stamina between 81 and 96 for future. And the control and velocity, not bad either. So, like I said, just a very overall well-balanced pitcher. And I think being that he's 104 on the, sorry, I just heard my pen drop. Being that he's 104 on the MLB board, we maybe target him at pick 88, maybe even at 48 if he's if other options fall off the board. Here we have Rob Torres. We need him another 25% scouted, currently at 75%, but looks to be a very good hitting first baseman with tremendous contact there against lefties, tremendous vision, discipline there with high 90s potential and decent power as well. Not going to offer much with a glove, so maybe a perpetual designated hitter type guy, but you like the ceiling, you like the floor, and you like those hitting traits very much. Then Wan Young Hu here, 9th on our board, 71st on the MLB board. Elite potential contact, each of those in the mid to high 90s. Very good vision, discipline, not the most power, but with his contact, you don't really need that, especially when you consider his speed. Could be an elite base stealer with the 84 to 99 ratings there for speed and stealing. The glove, not terrible, but not going to be good, and decent arm strength out there in center as well. We just really like the value, 71st on the MLB board, but 9th on our board after scouting. So we have picks 14, 36, and 48. And I think Wan Yang-Hu, if he's there around 36 or 48, that's what we'll target him. But now we'll kind of go into the more broad board here. So Daryl Jordan, we are not going to have a shot at being the number 1 pick on the board. So we didn't even bother scouting him, a pitcher out of Pennsylvania, I believe. I forget who has the pick. I think the White Sox maybe. Or actually, I think like the Mets won the lottery, and the Mets might have the first pick, but don't quote me on that. Franklin Delaney here, a right fielder out of Arkansas, left-handed bat, left-handed glove. Love the power there against righties, up to 88 potential, but he's going to be a potential gold glover out there in right field, maybe even center field. You could play him really all over the outfield with his glove, his arm, and his speed. So you just really like the whole package here. Close to a 5-tool type player. I don't know if maybe the contact is going to be where you want it, but he's going to provide some pop, and he's going to provide a tremendous glove out there with some very good speed. So 20th on the MLB board, but 6th on ours, and I think he's our top option with that potential at 78 to 93, likely going to land in the mid to high 80s, but hopefully maybe even up into the low 90s with a very high floor as well. So Franklin Delaney, if he's there at 14, I think he is the guy. But now we also have Romeo Lindsay, and we had, what pitcher did we just talk about before? Lewis Spencer here, but he's not going to be a guy we target at 14, even though he's 4th on our board. We'll see if he can hold off till maybe, like we said, 88 or maybe even 48 if we don't have better options. But say if our top option here, Delaney, isn't on the board, we might opt for another pitcher here and go with Romeo Lindsay, 7th on our board, 30th on the MLB board, but he looks to be a more complete prospect than the one we just reviewed, with far more upside as well, going up into the low 90s potentially. But the walks per 9, going to be elite, going to be very good. Home runs per 9, strikeouts per 9 type pitcher. Looks like he might give up a little more in the hit column, but going to counter that with good control, velocity, and break as well. A 4-pitch mix, and Lindsay looks to be a very good pitcher with a high floor and a pretty high ceiling to boot. Other options there at number 14, Tawn Cheney, probably the top center fielder in this class. I really like that power fielding and speed profile. Kind of a cool profile there for a center fielder. 6'4", 237. Not the highest contact or vision type guy, but going to provide some pop and going to provide a very good glove out there in center field with elite base stealing to go with it. Another high floor, high ceiling type guy. And you like that lefty bat. We definitely need a lefty to add to our MLB lineup here within the next couple years. And that does it for, here's Danny Medwick as well. Another guy we might consider at 14 if other options aren't on the board. Very good contact, vision, discipline type guy with above average power that will develop over time. A good glove there at third base with a strong arm and good speed and stealing for a third baseman as well. So not our top option at 14, but someone we would consider at that spot. But if he were to fall to our next pick there, which would be 36, that would be absolutely ideal, but I don't think he'll quite make it there. Other pitchers that we're maybe going to look at. So Spencer and Romeo Lindsay. Lindsay would be at 14, although I think we're more likely to end up with Spencer maybe at 48 or 88, depending on how the board goes. John Edwards here, maybe someone we consider at 14, but just don't really have the resources to scout him fully. And he does have injury risk unknown, so that's not something I really want to risk this high in the draft. And if you look at their doctor exam, it does say injured, so probably a good pitcher, but someone that might not stay healthy. William Bayek, another good pitcher, but someone we just don't have fully scouted. And you get down here. I don't think we really had any late gems. We do have pick 48, so maybe Neil Pepper here, even though he's only a little more than halfway scouted. Looks to have a really good profile, though. And we don't really have many options at 36 and 48. We're really just hoping that some guys fall down the board. This guy, not even ranked, but 66 on our board, so he's the type of guy we would target very late at like 178, our last pick, maybe 148, because not even ranked on the MLB board, but he does have very good potential. And in my experience, when you get these guys that aren't ranked, but you just take flyers on later on in the draft, they end up having high A potential, but it just takes a lot of time to progress them. So that's probably going to be the case there for Marrero, but they would hold decent trade value. We are going to look at some relievers, and I think our top guy here, Milt McCauley, has a 4-pitch mix there with that sweeping curve. Hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9 look to be potentially elite there out of the pen. Other than that, we didn't really go too deep into relievers, and not as deep as I wanted to. Catchers, we really didn't find anyone. I mean, it was kind of a stale catchers class, and the top 2 guys here ended up scouting worse than they actually were. So players we're probably not going to end up with. We already talked about a first baseman over here, Rob Torres, who's 171 on the MLB board. So we might target him at maybe like 118, maybe even 88, depending on our options at that point. We didn't really go into second baseman or shortstops at all. Third base, we did talk about Danny Medwick here, potential option. Excuse me, I've been messing up my words here a bunch, but a potential option at number 14. We should have maybe scouted some of these guys. Mike Costello was 39th on the board after scouting, went down to 54th. Although, look at those hitting traits. I mean, potential elite contact guy, and then the power to boot as well. So I don't know. He's an interesting prospect. Maybe we should finish scouting him. I think we have one more scouting iteration that we'll get in before the actual draft episode. Left field, Derek Anderson here. We were scouting earlier on, but we like to switch hitting profile. But someone who dipped a little bit after scouting, went down from 29 to 41, but still liked what we have to work with him. So maybe someone we finish scouting here. We talked about Tawn Cheney, a potential option at pick 14. Armando Cabrera here. He went up to 89th on our board when he's 181 on the MLB board, but really no elite potential traits. Looks like to be a good base stealer with a decent glove, but going to have a very, very low floor. Malcolm Nunez, and just a bunch of decent guys here. I mean, Leandro Pinero here has very high potential for a late pick like that, so someone we maybe target at 88, probably wouldn't be there at 118. And then right field here, we talked about Franklin Delaney, who we're really hoping to add in this year's draft. I think that would be the ideal number 1 pick for us at 14. D'Angelo Tucker, someone we also scouted a little bit, went down after scouting. But that pretty much does it here. I mean, the scouting in MLB The Show is very challenging. I think it's very hard to, get a full position group scouted unless you want to go individual position by position and do it that way. But I like how they kind of altered it here in recent years, although that's not to say they don't have a bunch of work to do when it comes to drafting and scouting. They really have a lot to do to make that process a little bit better. But this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. Thank you so much for watching. As always, everybody, it was a pleasure doing this episode. And at the end, I kind of was speeding through it, but I want to keep these episodes as short as possible. But that's not to say, I don't want to get in all the good content that makes them a little more interesting. But as always, everybody, it's been real and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.